This video is going to talk about solving equations with decimals. So it's very similar to solving equations with whole numbers, but we're going to add in the decimals. So let's see how that works. I'm going to start with 0 and 4/10 x plus 0 and 2/10 x equals 0 and 6/10. Okay, so we're going to look at these and what the terms are made up of. And so I have a coefficient of 4/10 and a variable of x on this one. And then when I look at the other one, it's the same type of term. So it's 2/10 is the coefficient. We have the x for the variable. So we're going to go ahead and add these. And I'm going to line it up because it's a little bit more comfortable for me to do so. To make sure that I line up my decimal, I'm going to set up the 0.2x over here, and we're adding it. So I'm going to have an answer of 0 and I'll write it down, 0 and 6/10 x. Okay, so now we can drop the 0, but we sure can't drop the x. So I'm going to move this over. So 4/10 x plus 2/10 x is 6/10 x equals, I'm going to drop off that 0 too, because we know that it just doesn't matter. It means we don't have any whole numbers with our decimal, right? So I am going to get rid of the decimal, and I can do that using our base 10 rules. I'm going to multiply both sides times 10. What I want to happen is I want this decimal to come over and be in front of that number, so it'll be a whole number. So what I do to this side, I'm going to have to do to that side, right? So if I multiply this times 10 and I do this times 10, it's going to work for us. So this is going to make this 6x equals 6. Then I'm doing my inverse operations here. This means 6x means I have 6 x's or 6 times x. I'm going to divide because that's the opposite of times or multiplication. So I have to do the other side also. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Mr. Robbins might say that we're equal opportunity mathematicians. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So that gives us the ability to bring down that x, and our answer is 1. So x equals 1 in this first equation. Let's do another one. This one is going to be just a little bit different. So I have 5/10 x and plus 6 plus 0 and 4/10 x equals 9 and 6/10. So let's get started here. So the first thing we do is combine our like terms, and we go from left to right to see what we can put together. So this 5/10 with the x term, the next one is 6, and that doesn't work. I can't add that because it doesn't have the x variable, okay? So don't think you can add it if it's not the same. It has to have the same structure. So we can skip the 6 for now, move to the next one, and lo and behold, we do have another coefficient with a variable. So it's the same kind of term as this one. So I'm supposed to add that together. So I'm going to come over here, because if I move over here, I can line up the decimal. So I'm going to put on here 0.4x. I'm adding, okay, and my answer is going to be 9/10 x. And so I'm going to, let's see here, put down, I still have this x. I got rid of the 4, but I still have this 6, So we need to make sure that we bring down the 6. And then the equal sign, this line just keeps my equals in line because that just helps me when I do one side and then the other. So I'm going to make this a little bit easier for me to read, and that's just because I'm funny like that. I like for it to be all lined up and easy for me to read, so I know what steps I'm doing and when. Now I want to get the x all by itself. That's my whole goal of solving this equation. So I have two different terms here, and I need to get rid of them. So the 6 is not attached to the x. That's the easiest one to get rid of. So I'm going to get rid of that 6 by subtracting it, because this is a positive 6. So let's subtract it from both sides. Minus 6 on this side. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Yes, we can do it. Minus 6. I'm good. Okay, so we're going to do 9/10 x equals, we still have the 6/10 on here, and we're going to do 9 minus 6, and that's going to be 3. So now this is 9/10 x equals 3 and 6/10. Okay, so I want to get rid of the decimals. Let's go ahead and with our base 10 rules, I can do this times 10, right? And I can do this times 10. I'm moving this decimal over and that one over. So now I'm going to have, it'll end up with being 9x equals 36. Let's finish it out by using that inverse operation. I'm going to divide by 9 on both sides. X equals 4. So even though that started out a little bit long and confusing, not confusing, just a little bit complicated throwing in the decimals, we were able to combine the like terms. We got rid of that 6 constant that was by itself, and then we used our base 10 rules to move our decimals to have whole numbers, get rid of the decimals to come up with our solution of x equals 4. And I hope that was helpful.